let's not waste any time with a ranked matchup in the A10 on Friday night. St. Bonaventure goes to number 21 Dayton, 7 p.m. tip-off on ESPN2. Eli, you do not have Dayton ranked in your top 25 at the moment. As we record on Thursday afternoon, spreads are not out for any of the games that we talk about on this show because we want to give you guys plenty of time to analyze the matchups here. But with our good friends at Haslametrics, we can give you a projected spread. And if it's way off from this, then there might be some value on one side. So Haslametrics makes Dayton a little less than a 9-point favorite, projected over under of 134. So first of all, Eli, why do you hate Dayton, not having them in your top 25? And what do you think of this matchup?
Heck of a game. And we saw Dayton lose to Richmond as a 4.5, 5-point favorite last weekend, and Richmond undefeated in A10 play. So I have some concerns about Dayton's defense, top 60 in adjusted defensive efficiency, top 20 in adjusted offensive efficiency. We've seen this kind of story before with teams. While you have a superstar in Deron Holmes, kind of a little bit of a paper tiger, even though it's not like Dayton is on the scale or on that side of the scale that the Flyers were when they had Obi Toppin back in 2020 during the COVID year. But we're coining this, Steven, as the Discord game of the week because It's a mid-major game. It's got that mid-major flavor. So our users in the Discord channel, if you're not a user already, you could join our free Discord channel at thelines.com, top right-hand corner. We have over 4,000 people talking college basketball daily. Steven's got his bets in there whenever he puts in a college basketball bet. You could subscribe to those in the roll section. And I make this game around 7.5, 8, so I'm closer to Haslametrics than maybe the KenPom line. And St. Bonaventure coming off back-to-back wins, miraculous cover over VCU earlier in the week, trailed by 20 points in the first half, and you cover as about a 4.5-point home favorite. So pretty wild in that sense. But Deron Holmes, when you look at this matchup, isn't elite in post-up situations when you think about your typical college basketball big man or in the upper echelon ranks. Very, very good in pick and roll and on cuts. And one of the most veteran-laden St. Bonaventure teams, experience and minutes continuity-wise, has an elite pick and roll defense, allowing 0.66 points per possession against those sets per synergy. The offense doesn't do much well when you think about Chad Venning down low and Charles Pride, a transfer from a couple years ago. But I don't know if I trust St. Bonaventure's offense enough to that degree when you think about Venning and Pride and their offensive inefficiency at times. Dayton ranks number 350 in adjusted tempo. St. Bonaventure ranks bottom 100 across college basketball. So maybe this is a look toward the under just with St. Bonaventure's defensive edge and their offensive inefficiency. But I think the spread will probably be lined roughly correctly.
Yeah, I just like how smart Dayton is offensively. This is a team that knows what they do well and does it a lot, and it's working out really well. In conference play in the A10, they're not only number one in effective field goal percentage offense, but they're number one in effective field goal percentage defense as well. Overall this season, top 10 in the nation in 3-point field goal percentage versus the average opponent. That's that from Haslametrics. They are second in near proximity field goal percentage. And because they're so good at those two things, it's really refreshing to see a team that ranks 239th in mid-range field goal attempt rate. Like, I love to see that because there are some really talented teams in college basketball that don't do that. And we're going to talk about a couple of them on this podcast. So love that they're 34th in rim and three rate. If you look at that stat over at Shot Quality, St. Bonaventure is only 232nd. I thought they were very fortunate to get out of that VCU game with a win after having a 13-point halftime deficit. So, and if you look at St. Bonaventure in A10 play, they're number 11 in their own conference in effective field goal percentage defense. So I've been watching Dayton and the way books are lining them in recent weeks, and versus what the Haslametrics number has been, the books have been a little bit short on them. I wonder if that might happen again here. And if that's the case, then I'm probably going to bet on Dayton. If it's going to be closer to, 9 or 10, then I will wait for a live opportunity early in the game if they happen to get off to a slow start. But Yeah, this is a really smart offensive team, in my opinion, Eli and Dayton, that is going to have a pretty decent shot here to win by double digits, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a good look maybe on the live number. The one thing I like about St. Bonaventure, though, is, and to your point, have struggled a little bit defensively. I mentioned their offensive issues at times, but still veteran-laden team that seemingly is starting to come together. You have Micah Adams-Woods, who I think I don't know if it was necessarily called a suspension, but he missed one of their losses in the last week, came back strong. So I think the Bonnies may be starting to come together in a positive sense at the right time here, but I don't mind your live look.
Yeah, the final note I'll say about St. Bonaventure, I was looking for something to hang my hat on if I want to take the points with them. And overall on the season, it would appear that they would potentially have an opportunity on the offensive glass and generating second chance opportunities. But if you look at just conference play, that number has come way down versus tougher competition, where they're now only 5th in the A10 in offensive rebounding percentage. So I can't even rely on that. I don't think I'm confident in that as well in this matchup. So yeah, I'd only look Dayton this time around.